My greatest desire, my greatest attention, my greatest target was to become a good hitter. And I had two things in my life as a young player that anybody else would have just been at seventh heaven, and I really was in seventh heaven, but I didn't realize it at the time. But Lefty O'Doul was the manager of the San Francisco Seals. And every good hitter I ever saw, but I hadn't seen many good hitters till then. I saw Babe Herman, who was an outstanding hitter. And I went up to him and I always asked him this question: what do I have to do to become a good hitter? That's all, just to become a good hitter. Babe Herman says, well, you got to be able to run. Well, he wasn't telling me how to hit, but certainly that's one of the great factors of having a high batting average is speed. I never had that. I talked to the best hitters I could see, but I finally met Lefty O'Doul. And he had been a great hitter. And he's out in the field in San Diego. They play night games. He's taking a sun bath out there with a couple of coaches. So I went out there and I talked to him. And I said, I'm Ted Williams. I said, I just signed with the San Diego Padres. And I said, I'd like to ask you one question. What do I have to do to become a good hitter? Now, this fellow had only seen me hitting batting practice. I'd only been with the club 3 or 4 days. And without hesitation, he said, kid, he says, never let anyone change you. Now, that was a pretty big endorsement, and I didn't realize it right then. 17 years old, he says, don't let anybody ever change you. And the second most impressive thing ever said about me was that when Eddie Collins, the great Hall of Famer from Philadelphia, was general manager of the Red Sox, and he came out to San Diego to look at Bobby Doerr, who they had an option on, and also Georgie Myatt. And they picked up the option of Bobby Doerr, and I wasn't even playing. I was still in batting practice and taking a little hitting practice, and we're on our way. We're in Portland, as a matter of fact. And he went to Bill Lane after batting practice, and he said, who's that young kid left-hand hitter? And Mr. Lane, the owner of the club, didn't know who he was talking about. And he said, big, tall kid from San Diego. Oh, he says, oh, that kid we just signed. And he said, he's 3 or 4 years away. And Eddie Collins said, we want first option on him. Now, they had a working agreement with San Diego, so that was pretty near automatic. But the big thing was that Eddie Collins later told me. He said, Ted, you as a young kid at 17 or 18, he said, all I thought about when I saw you out there was Joe Jackson. Now, that was a hell of a compliment. And I didn't even realize how big a compliment it was. Because, you know, in the history of baseball, nobody's ever said there was ever a better hitter than Joe Jackson.
Everybody quiet now here at Fenway Park after they gave him a standing ovation of 2 minutes, knowing that this is probably his last time at bat. 1 out, nobody on, last of the 8th inning. Jack Fisher into his windup. Here's the pitch. Williams swings, and there's a long drive to deep right. That ball is going, and it is gone. A home run for Ted Williams in his last time at bat in the Major League.
Ball players are not born great. They're not born hitters or pitchers or managers, and luck isn't the key factor. No one has come up for a substitute for hard work. I've never met a great baseball player who didn't have to work harder at learning to play baseball than anything else he ever did. To me, it was the greatest fun I ever had, which probably explains why today I feel both humility and pride, because God let me play the game and to learn to be good at it. Proud because I spent most of my life in the company of so many wonderful people.